I welcome all the guests to our today's program. Today's program is on Ramappa Temple, and our guest is Babji Rao, a senior archaeologist. Today's program is under Oragunti Ramchandraya Memorial Endowment Lecture, and the title is Rudreswara Ramappa Temple, the extant gem of Kakatiya regime. The guest will be introduced by the managing committee member of Mythic Society, Shri S. Ravi. So I invite S. Ravi to introduce the guest.
Thank you, Mr. Jaisimar. Um, I once again welcome everyone, the historians, the archaeologists, the intellectuals who are attending today to the 22nd online lecture on this series. And as he has said, today is the endowment lecture of Oruganti Ramachandraya. He is basically a professor, a historian, and a freedom fighter, and he belongs to the family of freedom fighters. His father was O. Venkatasubbaya, was a leading freedom fighter from Nellore district. Professor Ramachandraya, born in 16th June 1912, has participated in the freedom movement even as a boy in 1921 and in 1930. And in 1930, he joined Salt Satyagraha and underwent imprisonment for about 6 months at Borstal School, Tanjore, and in central jails of Vellore and Bellary. He was also involved in the famous Kakinada bomb conspiracy case and was in custody at Rajamundry and Vellore prisons between 1933 and 1935. He had his BA honors in history from the University College of Arts, Andhra University, in 1936 and MA honors in 1938 by submitting the thesis on foreign policy of Sri Krishnadevaraya from the same university. He secured his doctoral degree in 1948 for his thesis studies on Sri Krishnadevaraya. Later, he underwent training in archaeology from the Institute of Archaeology, University of London, under Professor Gordon Childe and Frieder Zenor. He also worked with Mr. Moritum Wheeler at the excavation of the Harappa and also at the excavations at Salihudam and Jami. He started his career as a lecturer in history and archaeology in Andhra University, Voltaire, and later rose to the position of a reader and professor and worked there till his retirement in 1972. He has successfully guided half a dozen students of PhD degree, and his books in English include studies in Tuluva dynasty of Vijayanagara and Shatavahanas and their successors. More than a dozen works in Telugu and a large number of research papers are also to his credit. He has been a devotee of Ramana Maharshi and at present stays at Ramana Ashrama at Tiruvannamalai, pursuing and also guiding spiritual activities. Many of his Telugu works are on Ramana Maharshi, and he has translated poems on Meera and Jagannath Pandit's Gangalhari into Telugu. He had been the fourth president of the Andhra Pradesh History Congress, third president of the South Indian History Congress, and also sectional president of the medieval period of the Indian History Congress held in Bombay. Professor Ramchandra was felicitated at Mythic Society Bangalore for his having complete 80 years earlier, and he has a felicitation volume in two parts edited by renowned scholars Narasimhamurthy and I.K. Sharma, who are his students at Bangalore on 23rd of January 1994. The book has been published by the Book India Publishing Company and New Delhi and sponsored by Professor Ramachandra Felicitation Committee. This is about Professor Ramachandra on whose endowment lecture is today organized. And our esteemed speaker, Mr. Babji Rao, I would like to give a small introduction about him. He is a retired Deputy Superintending Archaeologist from the Archaeological Survey of India, is Regional Director South Bangalore, and served in archaeological survey for nearly 32 years. Initially, he worked as a curator of Hampi, Badami, Aivole, and the Srirangapatna museums. He took part in many excavations at Thanesar, Hampi, Adam, Pauni, Bawad, Pachikeri, Bansar in Vidarbha region of Maharashtra, Sannati in Karnataka, and Ubaria and Chichili in Madhya Pradesh, carried out a number of independent exploratory surveys in Tirupura, Chhattisgarh, Veligonda project area in Andhra Pradesh, and carried out scientific clearance excavations at Warangal Fort, Golconda Fort, and Nayakila in Telangana, Gantashala, Allur, Gumadi Duru, Kantamaneni, Wari, Gudem, Kodavali, Kotturu in Andhra Pradesh. For some time, worked as a museum head of Nagarjuna Kunda, Amaravati in Andhra Pradesh, and Kundapura, Telangana site museums. For 3 years, he served as a registering officer for Andhra Pradesh and Telangana state, taken part in an extensive people-oriented heritage awareness program. For some time, his research-oriented technical reports and cultural brochures and booklets prepared for all major sites of Andhra Pradesh in Telangana have been published. A significant contribution is also made for the World Heritage tentative list and been a member of the Telangana Advisory Committee in the dossier of Ramappa World Heritage List. Served as a member of several technical and advisory committees. Presented research papers in regional, national, and international seminars. A book on monumental heritage of Andhra Pradesh was co-authored, and about 31 research papers have been published. A man of very high uh, achievements in life from the Archaeological Survey is with us. Sir, it's for you. The whole floor is open, and I would request you to take over the control of the floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. And it is my immense pleasure, and I'm highly grateful to Mythic Society for being invited under this endowment lecture of the great solver, Professor Urgent Ramchandra. Uh, Thank you very much, sir. Good evening, everybody. Uh, Good evening, everybody. And all of a sudden, in the July 26th of July, the entire India, not only entire India, various parts of the world, Google searching has been increased tremendously to find out what is the significance of Ramappa and what's about the historical aspects of the Kakatiyas. That was such a great thing. In fact, Kakatiyas and the legacy of the Kakatiyas are so much so deeply inherited in the hearts of the people of Telugu, and their valor and their creations are immense, have immense what's called impact in the minds of the people. And now it is great that entire India, it has become the Ramappa temple, and its legacy has become a national one with an international recognition the moment it has been enlisted in the World Heritage List of Monuments in the July 25th. So, having said that, when we talk of Kakatiyas, even though they ruled for a small period, especially initially they were the feudatories of Chalukyas, that is Western Chalukya, Kalyani Chalukyas, and then subsequently they rose into power, and after that independence, they proclaimed independence. But during the 11th, 12th, and 13th centuries, the Kakatiya rule reached its genesis, its peak, and during that time, it has witnessed a lot of activities in the form of forts, cities, and temples, a number of temples, and irrigation systems, and especially the way the Kakatiyas have constructed the ponds, all others are, it is behind our imagination. Even after 800 years, those are catering the needs of the people and the agricultural needs of the people to even to this day. That is the greatness of the thing. Having said about it, these two words, I wanted to go further, going to the I want to share the this thing. Okay, just a minute. Uh, okay. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So, good morning, everybody, on this beautiful occasion of Mythic Society's lecture series. It's my pleasure to share with you all the dignitaries and then domain experts and scholars of this great society, which has more than 100 years of existence and thriving with its service into the educational world of the India. So, uh, when before talking about the Rudreswara, because Rudreswara Ramappa temple is one of the many temples constructed by the Kakatiyas. In fact, there are about 1,500 temples constructed by the Kakatiyas. But due to the ravages of time and all others, majority of them have lost their sheen. And to our great lucky, rather to say it's we are luckiest to have this jewel of the Kakatiyas to be preserved for us. And then with the advent of World Heritage tag on this will be preserved for the posterity by the world at once. That's the thing. So the impact actually, when we what's the impact of the thing? The legacy and valor of Kakatiya monarchs remain alive in the hearts of and thoughts of the Telugu populace as a great source of pride and valor. This is indeed there. So that is why even to this day, when you go into the cultural deep roots of the Telangana and parts of the Andhra Pradesh, their valor is even to in different forms is remembered to this day, and it's been a continuing process. And actually the Kakatiya architecture, art, and engineering aspects, apart from water management capabilities, are of a great significance because this area, especially where the seat of power is located, it is divided. That is Orugallu, Warangal. That is divided of any river, perennial river water systems around it. So they have constructed different ponds at different places, like the during that time, the Pakala, Ramappa, and Lankavar, this Gunupur, like this, and then the Badrakali Cheruvu Lake at Hanmakonda. Like that, there are so many ones which are even to this day, they're constantly helping the agricultural activities to flourish in this area. And another most significance is that to take that one into another step, the government of Telangana has taken the mission Kakatiya. That was initially all these ponds and all Kakatiya systems, water management systems have been uh, regenerated, restored to their normalcy, and then that's a greatest great thing. And then their historical and archaeological and art and letters, they have reached a larger area. In fact, during the Kakatiya period, a large number of poets of n number of poets, they have given different aspects into different things in the esteem of the society. And because of those things, it was the greatest history till now for the people of Telugu speaking people, and it was a golden, considered to be the golden uh, period of the Telugu culture, Kakatiya rule. Now with this one, it has become reached pan-India and international ramifications. So, just to have a glance, everybody knows that, but for a larger area, this thing, the genealogy of Kakatiyas is very much essential to have. And initially, Kakatiya Gundiraju, these are, as I told you earlier, these were under the, they are the chieftains and feudatories of Chalukyas of Kalyani. Then first one was the Kakatiya Gunja Raju. That was, he ruled from 956 to 996, 996. And his son Betraju one came into the power, and who ruled from 1996 to 1052. He was made ruler of Hanmakonda Vishya. That the present Hanmakonda, it was a Vishya under the Chalukya region, and that area was consist of Koravi Sima, that present Warangal district, to Sanigrama of the Karimnagar district. That was the smaller part of the thing. That was the thing. It was under the rule of the Betraju one. Then his son Prolraju came to the power in 1052, that to 1078. He had annexed the territory of larger territories of Gunsagaram and Vemulwada and Sabsaria Metug Mandal of Medak. That is in the up to the Medak Mandal. Area expansion started. And then his son Bethraj II, who ruled from 1078 to 1108, he has the sections as major portions of Midugunda Chalukyas, and he constructed many of the temples and all other. Then comes Durgaraju for a short period, that is of 1108 to 1616. And again in the 1616, Durgaraju was replaced by the power, the Chalukyan power, with the Prolraju II. So he came to the power after removing his brother at the behest of the Kalyana Chalukya master, and invaded Kandukuru Cholas, conquered Polavasa territory, that brought entire Telangana under his control. That was a major political expansion, first political expansion of that period under the reigns of the Chalukyas. Then Rudreswara Maharaj, he came first. That is, he ruled from 1158 to 1195. That was the first one. He became the independent of the Chalukya rule, and then made several wars, and his kingdom spread from Godavari on the north to Srisalam on the south, and Bedadakota, that is Bidar, now in Karnataka, in the west, to Bay of Bengal in the east. That was such just a large expansion. And he constructed Rudreswara temple at Hanmakonda. That is also one of the marvels of Kakatiya architectural significance. And that Hanmakonda Rudreswara temple is so beautiful. I think it's a Trikuta temple, and the way it has been constructed, and then it has all the ingredients, but due to the ravages of time and all others, it's all the architectural additions of the temple have been lost in the time. And even in the 1904 photographs of Raja Deenadayal shows that it was in a total shambles. That entire complex was totally in a shambles. That was the thing, but subsequently it has been restored, and it has now one of the major religious centers of Telangana. And he was war with Yadavas on the northern boundary, and died in 1195 during the war with Yadavas. So Yadavas of Devagiri, Daulatabad. So Mahadeva Maharaju, he came to the power because for a short period, Mahadeva Maharaju was his brother, that is Ganapati Deva Maharaja's brother. So he ruled for a short period, died in the war with the Yadavas of Devagiri, again in 1198. See, Ganapati Deva Maharaju, who came to the power in 1199 and ruled up to 1262, that is That is the maximum of the tenure of any Kakatiya emperor had sway over the thing. That is 63 years. In fact, when he was also jailed along imprisoned along with Mahadeva Maharaju, but with the efforts of statesmanship and efforts and caliber and guts and valor of Rachel Rudra, he who had managed the entire Samantas and all of that, waged a war and brought back, and he was a important person to in Ganpati Deva Maharaja's incarnation to the power. And after him came Rudramadevi around about Rudramadevi, who ruled between 1260 to 1289. We all know about her valor, her what's called the entire invasions, and then her heroic inspiration to the generations and then generations to come and all of that. That was the greatest of great. It was the greatest of great rulers, and she remained in the history of India as one of the greatest warriors and emperor of this land. So before that, actually Ganpati Deva Maharaja has he had made Warangallu has his capital as his capital as his capital, and then sorry, he made as capital. And then during this time, even international trade was also there as was in existing. That's what we can see from the inscriptions, inscriptional evidences at Motupalli and all of this. So again, Dhrum Devi, she died again in one of the battles due to the conspiracies and treacherous activities of the subordinates. She was killed. She was expired in the war near that Nalgonda area in 62. After 89, after that, Prataparudra Maharaj came, and he's also very ably managed administration and see the development of works of art, architecture, temples, and all of this. But he was finally invaded by the Sultanate of Delhi, and then while he was captured and taken to the Delhi, on the way he was expired. With that, the Kakatiyas, the monarchs of the Kakatiyas rule came to an end. But their legacy has deeply stayed in the hearts of the people for the generations come, and as time passes, that has been further enhanced day by day. That's the thing. And okay, the engineering method of the Kakatiyas are that they are the when we talk of the Kakatiya temples relatively they are not of that much gigantic in size or dimensions or anything when compared to those are the temples of either Cholas or Pallavas or anything, but they have their own beauty and delicacy and sturdiness, and also apart from that, the religious representation of the divinity. Those were there. So for the constructions of all the constructions, Kakatiyas, whether it is a temple or a gateway or a public mandapas or anything, they have invariably used an indigenous methodology of a sandbox foundation system. That itself is a separate entity and a separate technical engineering aspect when we relatively compared with the rest of the constructional activities of that period. So this was this was the use of sandbox method, wherein for any structure the foundation will be dug into some meters, as evidenced at Kalyana Mandapa, Hanmakonda Rudreswara temple. So up to 3 meters deep along either a rectangular or a squarish huge pit will be dug out, and wherein they put the fine sands, river sands over the thing, and that will be very well compressed, over which the architectural members, which are joined to each other by virtue of sockets and shafts, then they will raise the thing. So the combination internal locking system of the Kakatiya structures are so sturdy that it is very difficult to uh, separate them in such a way that they have raised the foundations. And the best documented example, as I just told you, that it was at Kalyana Mandapa Rudreswara temple, Hanmakonda, wherein the entire methodology of sandbox system and how it was done, everything has been very well documented, very well studied, and very well analyzed for the future purpose of the engineering studies. That was another thing. And then they have used for the construction of in the construction, invariably granite was there to a great extent. They used granite, and in a specific decorative systems, they used the dolerite, and then that the Chalava sandstone, which is especially when we talk of Ramappa, that the Chalava sandstone was, which is again locally available in the Warangal district itself. It's a beautiful stone with pinkish lines and pinkish features there. It is all used there, in the construction of that temple, all these three material. And then apart from these things, the another significance of Ramappa is that the use of lightweight bricks. The lightweight bricks, which are
Uh,
highly porous,
Sir,
as is
excuse me,
possible.
sir. Sir,
Hello.
excuse me. Sorry to interrupt. Would you
Yeah,
like to share the PPT, sir?
I'm PPT only. I'm showing that.
No, it is not
Hello.
visible, sir. It is not
Okay,
shared.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just a minute. Just a minute. I think I was under the impression that I'm sharing that PPT. You just tell me. You just tell me whether PPT now is it visible?
No, sir, not it. You'll have to share it, sir.
Okay, just a minute. Just a minute. I did the same thing, and I was thinking that okay, okay, uh,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
okay.
Right, sir. You'll have to share the PPT. Your screen is visible.
Now PPT.
No, sir. The screen is visible. Right, sir. Right, sir.
Okay.
It
I'm
is
sorry.
come. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
I'm
okay, sir. No
sorry.
problem.
I'm sorry, audience. I was under impression my PPT is visual. It's going on there. I'm sorry. It's for the mistake on my part. So I was speaking about the impact of the World Heritage this thing and that thing, and these are the what I have shown about the genealogy. Spoke about the genealogy of the kings of the Kakatiyas, monarchs, and then their material, the material used by the Kakatiyas for the construction of the temple, and out of which I was talking at the lightweight bricks. These lightweight bricks are exclusively, it seems exclusively used in Ramappa temple, Rudreswara temple, that's Ramappa temple, because Nowhere else we got the evidence of these bricks. Even though bricks are used at different other temples, also it was not found anywhere else. So we can presume that Ramappa temple, even though the technology was there, maybe there must be some temples where this technology used, but to our uh, to our evidence, to our physical evidence, this is the only place where we got the floating bricks. And then this floating bricks also, the spongy and porous, this is due to the petrification manufacturing technique. It is a pretty big process of understanding their manufacturing technique, because to have that one wherein to have that effect, you need to have high raised temperatures, and that your temperature should be very 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 high. So we don't know what were the existing metallurgical fire technique at that time, but it comes to 0.09 gm cubic cc. That was the weight of the thing. Like, if you say, if a regular brick, suppose it weighs some 10 kgs or 9 kgs, it will be 10 times less than that. So as a result of that, since these bricks were evidently used on the construction of the Sikara, their main purpose was to what's called lesser the load bearing this thing load capacity over the structure. That was one of the main reasons. So prior to that, prior to these ones, let us have a small glimpse at the what's called the important important yeah, this is most significant and most rather a gigantic temple constructed by them. Unfortunately, the traces of which are not available to us, to our present day generation, except stray its foundation points only. It's only its foundation, except its foundation, which is some 2 meters below the working level. That was the working 2 meters above the present foundation was the original working level. So all the things have been totally vanished. So this was the Swambhu temple complex, and encircled by four great toranas, on four sides at Wangal Fort. And then originally it was encircled by a large massive stone prakara, double stone prakara all around, but only traces were there. And then what happened is that its material, subsequent to its destruction and all others, its material was reused in different structural activities within the complex. uh, we don't know how many hundreds of years that took place, but that was the thing. And then only of entire this thing, only the eastern part of Mandapa, this is the thing that is partly available to us to estimate the gigantic nature of this temple. That's one of the very very important ones, but that's not there. In fact, initially Kakatiya Heritage Trust and the government of Telangana and Archaeological Survey of India all together, they had proposal to project the Warangal, the forts and the defense systems and the temples of Warangal and Hanmakonda and then Ramappa all together as a World Heritage property. But due to the technical issues cropped up and major issues and all of that, after a lot of deliberations and discussions, that has been finally limited to the Ramappa. That's the thing. So apart from these temples, the another great significant skills of Kakatiyas are the defense system. This defense system also unparalleled. In the sense, if anybody sees and entered into Warangal Fort, see the fortification all along has the steps from the inside. Inside the steps to access the bastions at any given a point of time from any point of the fort inside. In such a way, they have made that such a steppy, all along steppy within inside the fortification is not seen anywhere in this part of the thing during that period or subsequent period. That's also one of the greatest creative talents of the Kakatiya rulers. So now we'll go to yeah, this is the thing, and then another most important is that the Toranas, despite the fact the entire establishment within the Toranas, including the Prakhara, everything has been lost as systematically or removed and all of that. This could not be touched by the either by the nature or by the humans. The reason being, it was so steadily, intricately designed and fabricated and inserted that uh, everything has been inserted into the thing. Like if you see if you see these beams, those were inserted, joined together, and then these columns were joined together by the beam, and then the beam side projections were again joined to these bracket designs, and that is so steady, and then it cannot be, and these are the places where the hamsas were put over. This is a view from the top, and again here and here comes a small that unfortunately the evidence is now totally gone, a small kalasas. This was the thing, this was the entire design of the thing, which have, of course, no doubt it has been derived from the architecture of Buddhist architecture, the Toranas. But the Toranas to the temples of that period are totally unique and exclusive elements of Kakatiyan architecture. And even you can see even now you can see this type of this thing at nearby within the Warangal district. One temple is there. It has the entry point is that one. So this is about the Kakatiyas. Then that is the Kakatiya rulers constructed forts, temples, pavilions, sculptures besides ponds. There are hundreds of Kakatiya temples, shrines spread over in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. The temples be classified into Ekakuta, Dvikuta, Trikuta, and Panchakuta styles. Whereas the Ekakuta, Trikuta are there, but Dvikuta and Panchakuta styles are very scanty. We have only one Dvikuta thing, wherein it is the shrines are opposite to each other, located at Maheshwaram in what's called Mehboob Nagar district. And Panchakuta is we have two temples at Panchakuta. One is Atmakura and another one is this what's called other place with both in Warangal district. So, but the Ekakuta, Dikuta, Trikuta, Ekakuta, Trikuta temples are very more in their availability. So that is the Ramanujapuram is the Panchakuta, other one. Ramanujapuram is the thing. So we have two Panchakuta shrines existing to this day as a evidence of Kakatiya's this thing. So the Kakatiya temples are Ekakuta, Dikuta, Trikuta, and Panchakuta styles, made of single or double walls. Okay, and the formal example wherein single walls are used are that can be seen at Somasila and Mogulchella areas. Okay, and then the Rudreswara temple, popularly known as Thousand Pillar Temple, Hankonda. That itself is one of the best examples of the Trikuta, and it has a beautiful Kalyana Mandapa, a marvelous Kalyana Mandapa that is there at this thing. And apart from that, the Gautameswara temple at Mantani, Narasimha temple, Bejanki, and Chaudeshwara temple, Kondaparti. That is all are these Trikutas. So the Nandiswara temple at that is Nandi Vadamanu, Shivalam, that is Trikutalayam at Muttaram, Godavarkari, Kaleswaram, Trikutalayam at Nidigonda, Chandapalli, Warangal, and twin temples of Ravalingeswara and Channakeswara, Trikutalayam at Katakshapuram, and then Nancharugudi, that is it's Panchakuta, I told you earlier, that is at Ramanujapuram, and another at Atmakuru. Those are the important ones. Besides Buddhapuram, Putukuru, and Ganapur group of temples. So these are some of the few ones. As I told you that it was about 1,500 temples of Kakatiya period were constructed, and amongst which majority of them are they have due to ravages of time they have vanished, but majority of them are the traces of the temples are there in a different conditions and different state of preservations throughout the Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So come back to our the center of the discussion, that is the Ramappa temple, Rudreswara temple, Ramappa. To begin with, actually that Ramappa, the temple which has been very much popular as Ramappa temple, there was no any concrete evidence contrary to the people's belief that the sculptor, the Silpi, Pradhan Silpi Ramappa was there like that. It was there. It was not there. But it was a Rudreswara temple. But there was a person, Ramappa, who worked in 17th century, and who said to be associated with some repairs works to the Ramappa lake and all of that. But we don't know. Maybe because of that, this Ramappa temple and his name it has come. We don't know. It is not clear to say. So the Ramappa temple. Another very interesting feature is, see, this northeastern one, even the compound wall on the northeastern side, it is recessed inside, and a small part on the southwestern side, a small part, which is which can be seen here. This itself is a very unique, or rather not easy to ascertain any specific religious or cultural or engineering or practical reasons to it. This is the thing. And then the prakara is a double walled and then covered with the slabs all around, but it looks like as if it is a monolithic one when you look at from the air or from the aerial view. It looks like monolithic, but not like. In fact, these are the double walls. See where in double wall. These are double walls, and then filled with in between filled with rubble, then covered with this thing, and over which are like your canopies. The arched tops were provided all along. Those were missed, and some of them are available. Some of them are available in the clearance and all of that. They got it out. So this is the thing, and then the Rudreswara temple. Is this one on a star shape. It stands on a star-shaped platform, and it has a separate Nandi Mandapa on the eastern side. Interestingly, its axis, even though north-south facing east, axis is slightly some degrees tilted towards eastern side. So that's the thing. Unlike Rudreswara temple at Hanmakonda, where it is total exact axis in the north south. It has slightly a tilted one. So apart from the main temple, we have Kateswara, Kateswara and Kameswara temples. This Kateswara is on the northern side and Kameswara is on the southern side. This temple is for the renovation purpose, and because there was a lot of settlement, due to the settlement of the foundation, this has totally lost its shape. So due to which it has been taken up for the reconstruction work that is there. So, and then it offers a very good with not only within the local area. If you take a larger area, so it gives a pleasant look to the viewer. Its location amidst green, lush green fields and all around, and then hilltops, hillocks, and then a large sea like Ramappa Lake all around gives. It's like it really creates a eye feasting. So this is the thing. Yeah. Now see the this is the panoramic view of Rudreswara temple complex. What we have seen in the map drawing, the same one. This is the Nandi Mandapa. This one is Rudreswara temple, and this is Kateswara temple. And here comes the thing. Now it is not there removed. And here is an exclusive pillared mandapa with inscription. This is a separate entity of the thing, uh, but very exclusive, and it shows and it throws a lot of light on the about the entire background of the thing. That's the thing, and this is a general view outside from the outside compound. So here it is all projected like it comes, and above which I told you, there will be a small canopy slab. Things will come all around. This was originally there. That's the thing, and it is on the star shaped, and the basement that Adhisthana comes, and then you have a ample area for the as a Pradakshina Pada serves all the thing. Even though it is a Trikutalaya, uh, but single shrine is there, Gabbaguha, and on the both sides are the entries, usually are the entries. But on pattern, it will be a Trikutalaya pattern. So this is there about the thing, and yeah, this is the close view of the thing, wherein you have balustered steps all from three sides from here and from here, and then it's all there. And again you have raised platform, and then you have kakshasanas all around, and then kakshasana's pillar, a small dwarfish pillars, granite pillars all around they have erected. And then in the central mandapa, Ranga Mandapa, or you call it Nacha Mandapa, that was an exclusively treated with dolerite polished pillars. And then again, all the bracket figures are used exclusively, made and used by the used the dolerite material, dolerite figures. This is the thing, and then this is the Sikara. This is the Sikara, and interestingly, we don't have evidence of Shikara for the rest of the temples, Kakatiya temples available to this day. This Shikara, again, another beauty is that from within inside the thing, the ceiling also goes up to those that heights, hollow heights. But yeah, like that it goes, and then the entire compound. Here, this is the view. In fact, this is a view taken from Kateswara temple. That's why we are able to have this entire panoramic view of the thing. So each and every bit of the temple exterior has been thoroughly decorated with the different forms of art forms, depicting deities and dances and dwarpalas and geometric patterns and floral motifs and all of that. This is the beauty of the thing. Very exclusively done work. And not only main temple, even the Nandi Mandap is of the same nature. Of the same nature, it's also like a sanctum raised over a Adhisthana, all are Adhisthana, then Upapita, and then Pita. Then again, you have what's called the Kakshasanas inside, and a beautiful, unparalleled artistic representation of Nandi. Those were there. So, yeah, this is very important. Uh, the Rudreswara inscription, the inscription of the Rachala Rudra. This is in four sites, four sites, and totally it is in the script is in Telugu and the language is Sanskrit. It totally contains 204 lines on all the sides. It gives a very good eulogy and then evocation of the gods and all of that. Then, apart from all these things, the genealogy of Rudra uh, that comes from this one genealogy. He gives the genealogy, and as per this inscription, the founder of Dair Vamsa, that is Brahmanayaka was there. He worked under the Kakatiya's rulers, and Brahmanayaka's son was Katanayaka, and Katanaya's son was Kamnayaka, and again Kamanayaka's son was Katanayaka too, and this Rachala Rudra is Katanayaka two's son, and he mentions about how he built a town, a city at Palampet, and how the city was agog with different beautiful edifices, temples, and structures, and the streets, and everything. And then this temple, how it was constructed on this particular day, that was 11 that was 12/13 March 31st March. He has consecrated that god Rudreswara for the public. And also the inscription, he says, for the benefit of he also mentions that he has constructed a temple for Rudreswara at Warangal itself. And in the very beginning itself, he identifies himself as the most benevolent servant of Ganapati Deva Maharaja. Like that, it all speaks. And finally, he donates two villages for the Nicha, Dupa, Rangaboga, and all of this, for the maintenance of all these three temples. That is Kateswara, the Kameswara, Rudreswara, and the Kateswara temples. And also in that particular inscription, he requests even his enemies who come to the power subsequent to him he requests them to honor his donation for this temple management. This thing, those two honor those two donation of those two villages for towards temple management. That's what the thing. It's the inscription itself is a very beautiful and very 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 the script and everything also reveals its developed advanced stage of calligraphy and all of that. And apart from that, this itself shows as it itself represents a small temple, and Shivalinga was there inside, and then this is the temple top, like that it is there. And it was provided in such a sturdy and a permanent pavilion mandapa, so safeguarding this one for the future generations. That itself indicates how futuristic view the ruler was having at the time. That's the thing. And whoa, yeah, this is a general view of the Rudreswara temple. As I told you, it has accessible balustrades on all three sides, and then elephants were there invariably at all the three places. Dual elephants were placed. Yeah. And then if you see on the on the plan joined together, this is the Nandi Mandapa Nandi, okay, and this is the eastern entrance, this is the southern entrance, and this is the western entrance, and this is the temple proper, okay, with Gabaguha and Antarala. And this is the Rangamandapa or Nachimandapa, Mukhamandapa or Sabha Mandapa. But if we call it Sabha Mandapa, all these three will be Sabha Mandapas. Okay, this entire all these three will be of the similar nature. So in total, there are 48 pillars were 48 pillars were erected within the structure, out of which these four are the dolerite ones, exclusively explicitly carved ones. They show the entire talent of the Kakatiyan sculptors and craftsmen and master artisans. This was the thing. And also the door jams, this one will show the entire efficacy of those things. And again, this is on the elevation, as I told you. So this was the sikharas were there, and it was from within also. They have maintained the ceiling up to this level. This is a beautiful one, and it has in total the temple has like this. The temple has 14, 14 what's called ceilings. 14 ceilings all around. Okay, so this is the main one, sanctum sanctum. Okay, and then this is Antarala, and then these are the thing. So this one, of entire ceilings, all ceilings are treated with either with these what's called Ashtadevatas and all others. But the central one is exclusively treated with the different entities. Okay. Then, yeah, this is the biti, the wall portion of the thing. This itself is another eye feast, and it gives a lot of curiosity and interest, and among the artisans and historians and general public in as such. So this is a three-tier one, Costa, Deva Costas, three-tier one. And again for the Deva Costa, now it is these are all three are empty. Deva Costas, and they were abutted with these porches, and as if it looks like a three-storied building sort of thing, and each story has your balcony like that. It appears. So yeah, this is the photograph part of it. This one, and very meticulously each and every small part was diligently designed and executed and crafted with a decoration. This itself speaks about its greatness in all length and volume. See, this is the thing. And again the costas, they were given the typical temple patterns, Sikhara patterns in the entrance. This is the thing. And then you have Jalandras on all the sides. In the sides for the Jalandras, the systematically perforated holes were provided to get the breeze go in and come out. And entire Adhisthana was so elegantly designed. Then the upper part of Adhisthana is marked with the row of elephant all along. That itself is a beautiful thing, and it's very systematically, and then their size and everything is matches in such a way as if they are stamped from, are molded from one one instrument, one source like that. And this is the thing. And then the jetting use, the jetting use of entire Chajja area is so well decorated with pendant like these are the buds, pendant buds, and the leaves. And see, so systematically, so meticulously, yeah, those were treated. So this is another this one. Okay, uh, come back to the this exclusive decoration of the Antarala part of the Ramappa temple. That is the entrance doorway of the Antarala on both the sides. It's again in the dolerite. See how intricately carved, even not an inch was left over here in such a way. The diamond, this is are the diamond patterns. And you have at the bottom, you have Purna Kalasas in both the sides. You have Purna Kalasas. And here you have a Gopala Krishna, Venugopala. This is very, very, very good. And then this is again an Archer lady. Archer lady, a full form of which is available in the form of a bracket figure. This is there. And then musicians and dancers. These are all the center part are all the dancers, so intricately carved, and the musicians, all even though they're the drummers, different postures, different types. They are there. So 30 on each sides. It is so as if mirror image like that it was made. And then the Dwarpalas are there here, and this pilaster motif itself out of the dolerite, making dolerite, and that dolerite being a very hard stone, that itself is a different entity. And again, obtaining a full-fledged polish effect over that is a technique beyond our. What was the technique and how they have obtained that shiny, glazy surface features at the time is a point of discussion. So, and this is the Rangamandapa ceiling. Rangamandapa ceiling, as I told you, it was so meticulously carved, and then not a hardly there was any space left without touching their chisels. Like this is the only place we can see, and these also have some designs in between. So in both horizontal and vertical, and then on plan, it is now from the top it is showing. So these were profusely decorated with the themes of Puranas, especially Shiva Purana was very much depicted here in all the thing. And then uh, yeah, and then four pillars of the thing. Yeah, this is the this is again one of the lowest beam on the eastern side, the Gauri Kalyana theme, wherein Shiva along with his followers, everybody were coming, and then these are all Shiva, other forms with Shiva, and then these are all. This is Gauri Kalyana theme, and that central one is it's a clear picture, wherein you see the center part, the bud part, at the top is Tandav Shiva, and at each tire you have dancing female dancers in different forms. Okay, some are missing. Then pendants, suspended buds all around, flower buds, and then these are leaves and flower buds. So if you see from the total, like it is like a flower, entire thing is a flower. To obtain such an effect, how much the conceptual skills and caliber was having during that period among the artisans, master craftsmen of Kakatiya period. So this is again another one on the same Rangamandapa, the lower most beam of the Rangamandapa. This is a Gajasamhara panel, wherein That's elephant. Elephant is totally dead, out of which Shiva is there. This is a marvelous one, another marvelous one. And the Tripura Samhara Murti is another one. It's a small portion taken from the other one, just to highlight. Even it's a highly enlarged photograph. If you see a naked eye, it will be very small, maybe 2 inches or 1 inch, or this maybe 1 inch, just slightly above 1 inch. But the detail of each aspect taken into consideration is the matter of our discussion. That is in such a way. So that shows the existence of a full-fledged, total, ultimate planning of art and architecture, art creation at the time. Yeah, this is the thing. This Rangamandapa again. If you see the dancing posters all around, the dancers and the dancing posters, the Rangamandapa can rightly be said as Nachamandapa, and also it may not be out of place. See, to say maybe Jaipanayaka's entire work has taken place, shape given the conceptual shape in the form of these dancers and dance forms, and in the Rangamandapa area. This itself is another masterpiece of Kakatiya art, and everything is in such a way, they have crafted in such a way as if they molded it in such a precision and such a perfection, and then such a dimensionally, dimensionally such a uniformity between each and every one. And then a lovely one, lovely sense that it's like not, this is not a frieze, but that is representing a jovial activity of the in front of our eyes. This is the beauty of the thing. Okay, and then the how the close view of the composite pillar will be there. This composite pillar here, it is in two parts. There is another evidence which I could not show it over here. So and then see the decoration of lattice decoration here, the suspended chain sort of thing all around, with a gap within the thing. And even a small area has not been left. So they have used such a high precision chisels, a smallest maybe of needle type of chisels they might have used for all the thing. That's another beauty of the thing. Coming back to the temple itself again, we have, interestingly, we have these small shrines exactly placed at equidistance the each each dwarfish pillar, that not dwarfish, it is on the pillars on all along the kakshasana pillars. And then over the kakshasanas they have dual shrines in all four corners, except one at the southeastern side. So that is southeastern side. Only one is there. The other one is not there. Totally, there are seven. Otherwise, there must be 8. So this also gives a high. Now, out of all these shrines, only 2 shrines are there with one Ganesha and one Devi on where, but rest of them are not there. So this is like Ashtavapalakas, and we don't know this concept, but this is also a unique feature of this particular temple, wherein on Kakshasanas these shrines were constructed, and then one is not constructed; it was left free. That area is left free. That is another beautiful thing of the thing. Now our rest, except these 2, rest of the shrines have no this thing. Coming back to the bracket figure, the most talk of the most highly highlighted architectural element of Kakatiya art at Rudreswara temple is the bracket figures. And the bracket figure, the treatment of each bracket figure is itself is a unique artistic testimony, and their dance forms their expressions, their lasya, and their expression of the things are totally uh, totally exemplary. And then all are one aspect, and then the Nagini, it is a separate entity. Nagini is more slender than rest of the things, and it is all Nagini's this thing, Vadanika Nagini's treatment is totally given with an exclusive this thing. All is polished all around the glazy surface, and then holding snake at the top and two snakes on the both the sides, and then over serpent hood, followed by two attendants. This is a unique one. And apart from that, different dance forms are another beautiful beautiful aspect of the Kakatiya art, especially the Madanika's treatment and giving life to the Madanika, as if they are really dancing in front of us. That's the effect they have brought. And then we have this Gajakesari. That's Veera Gajakesari is the logo and what's called logo, and then affirmative of the title of the Kakatiya rulers. So these were there, and just to have the magnanimity, how the thing is there, you have, if anybody happens to see Warangal Fort, and then the Warangal Fort, the material, whatever is excavated, explored, and collected from the Swayambhu temple complex is kept out Kushmahal area. You see the remnants of small portions, fragments of elephant, or a fragment of lion. So those small fragments, by virtue of their huge dimensions now, they gives an idea how the temple in its totality was such a gigantic one during its heydays. I'm referring to Warangal Swayambhu temple. So, and then this is yeah oh, this is rati of the thing. And see how nicely and how the creepers were created all around, making the inside hollow. This and how the chisels and all other they put inside and made the thing, that itself is a technological marvel of the thing. And then holding that sugar can, this is another beautiful, it's outstanding one. In fact, all these aspects together given the temple as the outstanding universal value. See, yeah, I was referring. Yeah, this was what we have seen there at the Antrala, the same one, one warrior, and some of the this thing. It has been removed by whatever entered into feet. That's removed by some attendant or somebody here, and she was holding a bow. And here also, this is slightly only, except the face. Here the face was turned towards her right. It was facing straight, except that, and the entire posture in the Tribanga is the same, in the same. This is that, and even this one. So this may be, uh, and here again this lattice, this the decoration of this part is gone. This is missing. Otherwise, it's also will be early, as we saw earlier. It would have come like this. And above, there are totally 12 Madanikas were there, and rest are out of 40. Rest are these Vyala figures. So this one is another exclusive one, wherein see the expression and body posturing and all of that. And even the sculptor has created the impact of the breeze as wind was coming. The government was as if the government was what's called moving due to the wind, that was say. And then very well ornamented figure, and then high heels. This is high heels. Maybe can be attributed to any priestly personality or a priestly personality. It may not be out of place, but this is very, very, very beautiful. Unfortunately, vandalism, this hands are broken. That's a different issue. But this itself is another outstanding feature of the Kakatiya architecture and art creations. And the entire nation is blissful to have such a remembrance to our generations, to preserve it and present to the posterity. This is such a one. And see, just again, because this were taken for the just show the other contemporary sculptures what they have shown the sandals, high heel sandals is see this is of 1230 and again 1250 that Konarka temple which was constructed during that Narsimha Deva one Eastern Ganga, who constructed the Konak between 1238 to 50. So 12 years it was taken. We don't know what is the time. So at least after 30, 40 years of 40 years of Ramappa, this was again seen in the Konak art, Eastern Ganga art. This is just for the idea. Okay, come back to the thing, and now we will talk about the Kakatiya temple. Kakatiya temple is a single one again on importantly on the grounds of Rudreswara main. It is also have the kachasanas and all of this, and then decorations all around. It's a geometric floral designs all around. This was there, and then balustrade steps. This was there, and then these two are the different views of the same one, and a bitti. With at the central ones you have again projection of representation of the temple in the form of a slender one and the gopura. This one behind here, there. This is all three sides. So this one, this is a Kameshwara temple. This was due to the bad settlements and all of that. This entire thing is a very old photograph. This was totally, and this is also very old drawing. This was well documented, and this has been for the purpose of conservation. This has been meticulously removed, and that will be given back, made the thing separately. Yeah, Nandi Mandap itself is another a beautiful edifice and another striking structure of Rudreswara temple complex because it is also like sanctum sanctum. It has its own mandapa and then provided pillars about the kakshasanas. Then you have it's on a high pita, and then you have adhisthana, and this is a stately this Nandi is rightly can be said rightly as a stately creation of the sculptural this thing, wherein you can find this is the Pradakshina Pada and entrance, and then Kakshasana pillar is gone, and then you have a water channel outlet. This is there, and then see you have Dwarpalas. Like the main temple, Dwarpalas are there, and the Kakshasana walls. Their main, it is not Dwarpala, but Madanikas are there. Here it is Dwarpala. Side Dwarpalas were given. And then see that thing. It is such a elegantly been carved, and they're lively, as if it is in the charging sort of mood, like that. It is its ears, everything were depicted in such a way. Very attentively, the bull Nandi was sitting as if to get to be ready to get the orders from his master, like that. And then the highly profusely decorated ornaments all along the body of the thing, and then the detailed delineation of the veins and all this on the Nandi itself speaks about the perfection and precision of the Kakatiyan artisans. And then, yeah, this is actually this is that use of floating bricks. We will already discuss it, but use of floating bricks also helped a lot for the structure in its longevity, stability in the long period. That's the thing. And then, see, this is the Rangamandapa and Nachimandapa. And alas, these are uplifted, rather broken. These are broken. uh, and this is another interesting aspect, and this how it added to our outstanding universal value is this one. See, the entire due to the tensile effect, the tensile strength. See what happens. You have granite slabs all around granite slabs, and then you have dolerite superstructures, heavy dolerite superstructure. If there is any disengagement within the foundation or below these levels, which can also be caused due to heavy, not thing, either due to what's called the sand drifting of the sand, maybe, or due to very high intense tectonic one. We don't know. Either of both the things, study has to be taken. A further comprehensive study need to be taken, because when we talk of tectonic means, NGRA only is the only institution where from we can get the historical entire historical data of the thing and this area and all of this. That's the thing. But anyhow, under any cases, see, these were broken, despite the fact even here, despite the fact these were broken, the total comprehensive mechanism of the temple is in such a way that its interlocking and inter-strengthening system ultimately prevailed and safeguarded and retained the temple to us. This is the beauty of this one. So here what happened, because of the weight this has been broken, due to this was again a result of something underwent beneath the thing. And but these ones, the dolerite ones, they stayed together, and they stayed at their place without any further dislocation from their in situ position. As a result, the entire superstructure was preserved. Otherwise, this effect would have been done on the superstructure also. As a total, the superstructure would have been damaged to a great extent. That was the thing. So now with this, I wanted to thank all of you and all the distinguished guests and scholars and readers and domain experts. Thank you very much, everybody, and I acknowledge my grateful thanks to my parent association, Archaeological Survey of India, and the Director General of Archaeological Survey of India, Regional Director of Archaeological Survey of India South, and Superintending Archaeologist, Hyderabad Circle, Amaravati Circle, and also Bhubaneswar Circle, and the Kakatiya Heritage Trust, and also the Government of Telangana, and Sri G.V. Sunarayanamurthy, and all my colleagues and my friends and my well-wishers, and all of you, thank you very much. And my ultimate thanks are to the Mythic Society, who have given me this uh, momentous moments of opportunity to meet today by this thing. Sorry, I'm just I'm just speaking about the Ramappa on some of the finer aspects. In fact, Ramappa is the one which has been thoroughly studied, very well documented. Not only Ramappa, for that matter, entire Kakatiya regime is being documented and studied, and a lot of research, a lot of publication, a lot of things have occurred, including epigraphical treasuries. So with this, I thank you all, and also wishing you all happy Diwali. Namaskar.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. It was a wonderful presentation. Uh, we have some of a few very great scholars also present in this lecture, sir.
Thank you.
We have a few questions.
Yeah.
Sir. I also request the audience to type your questions in the comment box.
Yeah.
Dr. P.K. Aruni, sir, Director ICHR, Regional
Yeah.
Center, Bangalore Regional, Southern Regional Center. He wants to know that the Panchakuta Basadi, the not the Panchakuta temple at Ramanujapuram,
Ah.
do you have any ground plan, or was it any similar to the Kalyana Chalukya Panchakuta temples?
It is definitely, but right now I don't have, but I can send you. I can send you through you. You can please send it. But it is of not the Chalukyas as such. We can see the elements of Kakatiyas in 90% of the 95% of the thing. That's the thing. Okay.
Right, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, Dr. Aruni also wants to know that he says that in his view, Kakatiya temples are more affliction to the later Chalukyan and Sevuna temples.
Yeah, actually, because of their Chalukyan affinity and then Chalukyan supremacy, the influence of Chalukyas was there. But over the period of time, the Kakatiyas have introduced their own architectural elements and then creative capabilities. And as a result, over the period of another century, they have formed their own style.
Right, sir. So, Dr. Vittal Poddar has a question. Can we draw a list of some common architectural features based on based on the study of Chalukya, Kakatiyan, and Hoysala monuments to highlight some common architectural affinity in Deccan area?
Yeah, that's a very, 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 very. Thank you very much, sir. Actually, that can be done. In fact, when we go to the, uh, just for example, Chanakeswara temple, Beluru, okay, and you see the thing, and it is the pattern, the star pattern, everything will be one. Even the decoration and the delineation of the figures ornamented. Only thing is that is a soft material, whereas this one is the hardest of the hard material. And because of that, the techniques may vary from one area, one region to one region. As an individual, as an individual, as an individual, I'm again repeating, as an individual, I feel that there is a lot of affinity between these two temples. Uh, the reason being, if you see the construction of that one, that Chanakeswara temple, Beluru, even though it started earlier, a century earlier, but because of its the time taken, 103 years taken, by the time it was completed, it has come to the same period of time, something like 1210 or 12:08 or 12:09, something like that, of the same in the time zone. It falls in that same time zone of Kakatiya Rudreswara temple at Palampet. That's the thing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Uday Kumar wants to know many images used in the slides seems to have been generated by scanning or photogrammetry. Please clarify. The
Okay,
images
please.
used in the right, sir.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Please, you repeat it. Actually,
Yeah, many images used in the slide seems to
yeah.
have been generated by scanning or photogrammetry.
No, neither it is photogrammetry or not photogrammetry. Only while preparing it's all it's just within these couple of days only I have prepared my slideshow. While preparing the slideshow, it is done with the slideshow only. That's the thing, and nothing of those things were used. Neither of those two things were used. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Dr. Aruni has another this thing, sir, remark.
Yeah.
This kind of elegant sculptures, carvings required high standard skilled artisans. What kind
Right.
of artist guilds were engaged? Any contemporary record on the artisans of the Ramappa timing temple?
Okay, sir. The thing is that we don't have any of those evidences, but Jay Pasenani, who is a contemporary of Rudreswara. He is also Senani, but he's Nitya Ratnavali. Nitya Ratnavali, the whatever he wherein all local forms, all exclusive local forms of this region have been uh, recorded, and some of those things were seen. Rather, we can interpret some of the dancing patterns and all others to that writing. That is one thing. And then we don't but we have when you go back to Rudreswara temple, thousand pillar temple at Hanmakonda, there in the inscription the sculptors names were also given over there. No,
Sir,
not the
Dr. Aruni
sculptor.
has
Sorry,
another
not the
question.
sculptor. No, engraver. I'm sorry. I correct my mistake. It's engraver of this thing is also given. That's the thing. No? We will find out if it is there because it is like a ocean sort of thing. Each and every aspect itself is a very comprehensively to be dealt comprehensively in such a way. That's the thing. Thank you.
Yeah, sir, Dr. Haruni has another question. Do you find similarity between Swayambhu temple at Warangal fort and Ramappa temple?
Sir, as I told you now, but Ramappa temple, hypothetically, if I say the Warangal Swayambhu temple is much larger than the Ramappa, okay, for which we have evidences to say that one. But apart from the lowest, that too partly disturbed, the lowest foundation traces, nothing is existing at this Swayambhu temple, Warangal. So, as a result, it is, but we can see in the excavation, scientific clearance work and scientific excavation, the traces of the all prakara all around, and then their prakara, how it was used, and then innumerable number of fragments, the sculpture of fragments, and then dislocated and dismantled these temple architectural pieces, which have been now whatever you see in the Warangal fort area, the open gallery is all those ones wherever it is possible we have put those things just to give an idea to the visitor of that bygone gigantic period. That's the thing.
Sir, we have another question by Chitra.
Ah.
Can you suggest the book that contains detail about engineering marvel of this temple?
Yeah, there are many. In fact, ma'am Chitra, you can refer to it is in the public domain. You go to the UNESCO World Heritage Site, official site, and wherein you find the document of the thing, which is the compilation of the entire information from different sources and compiled and made into the dossiers. Those dossiers you can find out the thing. Thank you.
Yeah, Chitra has another question, sir. I feel that this temple is a combination of Tamil and Karnataka architecture. May I have your views on this?
Yes, ma'am. I am not sure. I'm not sure of its direct affinity or inflect with Tamil Nadu. This thing, even though during Rudreswara period, Ganapati Deva, he had invaded up to this Kanchi, but it was for a short period. Manumasiddhi of this Nelluru, he was made into the chieftain or controller for some time, but Pandyas, within a short span of time, Pandyas overruled that thing, and except that one, there is no direct contacts of that is cultural contacts in terms of art between down south and then the Kakatiya. But whereas there is the Karnataka and Kakatiya, they have the common platform because of the Western Chalukyan influence. That is the thing. Whatever is evolved in course of time, because that is the genesis of that is Western Chalukya this thing, and over the period of thing, regional methodology has been adapted to that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Rajendrappa from Mysore wants to know, as long as it was worshipped, proper maintenance was possible. When it is abandoned due to historical reasons, it is dilapidated.
Uh, well, Rajendra Shivappa sir, this is not not abandoned from worship. It was there. It was there in the worship for a longer period, because what happens, even if you see the records of 1908 and all of this of the then Nizam's government, Yazdani notings and all of that, this was a non-descript and remote village at the time. Even to this day, because of that setting only helped it from the human encroachments from all human interferences from all sides. So that is there, and then the traditionally certain, it is for time, the time we don't know, but certain continuing practices were that Shivaratri time, from the locals and adjacent people, all people, they come and they perform a lot of what's called fire, and then they perform a lot of pujas and all of that. There will be Agni, they walk along the Agni at the time, at the night and all of that. This was going for a quite a long time, quite a long time. So what we feel that it is not due to the abandonment, that is not dilapidated. The temple totally is not at all dilapidated. I have what the thing I have shown in the slides is that PPT is that, see, there was some impact at a given point of time, a natural impact, natural climate. It cannot be of it is only a natural this thing, due to which, even though the impact was so much so that some of the slabs were linearly broken at some parts, but the superstructure prevailed. That itself is an engineering marvel, and how it sustained, that has got the positive marks, plus points for its universal value. That's the thing, not the temple total.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Dr.
Thank you.
Aruni has another question. Could you find the Amaravati art influence on Ramappa temple sculpture art?
Uh, okay, sir. It is Ramappa and Amaravati, two different entities in the sense, not because of not only because of their geographical settings and the time zone and time differences, but the Amaravati, when we speak of Amaravati school of art, invariably it speaks about the Buddhist art, whereas the Hindu art, elements of this much centuries old, is a different entity, and there also, uh, during the medieval period, the Amareshwara temple and its creative elements are influenced by the local traditions and the local rulers. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
So there, what I mean to say is that this is two different entities. There is no connection. No connection, I can say.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Dr. Shivnagi Reddy has a
Yeah.
question. Do you have any idea on the duration of the Ramappa temple construction? I mean, how many years it took to complete the project?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Nagreddy sir is our friend and well-wisher and an eminent scholar who has worked thoroughly, and his PhD is on the temples of this thing. Okay, it is said to be a 40 years took place for the completion of the thing. 40 years. 40 years for the completion of the Ramappa temple. That's what it's all in the records. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, probably we have come to the end of the questionnaire session, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we are at the end of the session, the vote of thanks. I'd like to thank uh, Dr. Babji Rao that it was a wonderful session and it was a very enlightening session for all of us.
Thank you, sir.
Along with Babji Rao, we have eminent archaeologists from all over the nation like Shivanagi Reddy, Dr. S.K. Aruni, Dr. Chudamani Nandagopal,
Yes,
uh,
yes. Chudamani
Rajendra.
Nandagopal madam has done a lot of work and a lot of
Yeah,
work on the art and dance traditions forms of Rudreswara temple. And in fact, she's also one of the members in the World Heritage Dossier Administration Company, Technical and Administration Company. Beautiful. Thank you, ma'am.
sir, before this thing, Dr. Shivanagi Reddy has another question. Do you encounter any Shilpa or Vastu text that gives details on floating bricks?
So far, me, I didn't have any that thing. If you have, you please share it on this platform itself. That will be very, very information for everybody, sir.
Sir, this will be the last question. Has any foreign travelers told about this temple?
Ma'am, uh, ma'am, I, I, I don't know, but one is that Marco Polo's visit to the capital of Kakatiya's Urugalu was recorded, uh, but uh, but rest of the thing, I'm sorry, I don't know. My knowledge is very limited in this aspect. I will. It's a very good one. I will explore on those lines. That thing. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
It was a wonderful session and very enlightening session for all of us.
Thank you.
I thank Babji Rao on behalf of the Mythic Society for the wonderful session. We had a wonderful time here, very enlightening time. And I also thank all the guests, eminent guests who were there, who were there all along for this talk, for this session. Before concluding, I'd like to give an information that next week we do have a lecture on Shivapurada Satyagraha by Dr. Sharvani Gowda. It is
Right.
on in every month we have one lecture on freedom movement, as this is the 75th year of Indian independence. So in this we are having a talk by Dr. Sharvani Gowda on Shivapura Satyagraha. So with this we come to the end of this session. I thank Dr. Babji Rao and all the guests who are present for this session. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you
Thank you.
very
Thank you.
much for the
Thank you,
wonderful.
everybody. Thank you. Namaskar.